So, good morning, everybody. We are today in Munich, in Germany, with Jonathan Grothaus. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Andre. Good to see you.
How are you doing?
Perfect. It's a great day.
It is. It's your client event starting here in a couple of minutes, and we are having possibility to talk with in front of your newest hardware you are using, autonomous and solar powered locker. How are the first impressions with this locker? Everything is good?
It's really going well. Of course, we do now since we're in the rollout phase and we're really rolling it out big. We do have some minor issues on the way, but it really took us, we've been working on this for a couple of years. So when we started back to have an interest in next gen, it was still the generation with the Bluetooth next gen, which was rolling out everywhere. And we quickly realized Bluetooth next gen will not be sufficient for an agnostic network because we need the display and everything else. So back then we already started to work on, okay, we need a full functional next gen locker. So I think we've been working for 2.5 years now.
So are you afraid of first winter? No?
No, we're really capable of it. So we've been testing it quite a lot. I think we had 5 or 6 prototypes with ARKA. And so it was really a joint development. And yeah, we're very happy with the rollout and really happy about the impressions and the feedback and the data we get.
Yeah, so just to name it here, this is a cooperation with ARKA. ARKA Smart Lockers are producing the hardware and the installation. So how many do you have it already?
I think we have already 200 to 300 in the field.
Okay,
yeah.
It's pretty mentionable number already.
Yeah. So we're rolling out pretty much as much as possible with next gen because now is the time really to figure out, okay, how much locations can we actually build with next gen. So that's since we decided that we want to have a solar powered next gen. We thought about the battery swap next generation as well, but we see that's gonna increase a lot of the operational costs in the future. And we truly believe that with solar powered next gen we're gonna be fine. And now it's really to figure out, okay, how far can we go with solar powered next gen lockers and what locations are still working, which not.
How do you feel in a sense that what they say is that this next gen is giving you more flexibility to find the location? Is it getting easier for you that you don't need to worry about the grid power so you can place the locker where you really want?
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. So that's really the one major advantage, and that you have more freedom to choose a location at the spot. And for us, it's really important because when you need a power grid connection, it becomes really costly if you have to build 10 meters away from the connection. So for us, this gives a lot of freedom and flexibility. So it's a huge advantage there. And it's also for the partner, it's better. So you don't have any operational topics in terms of construction, anything. So it's much smoother also in the installation phase.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's talk also about another thing that I find very interesting. You started in Austria, the collaborations with Austrian Post and now with BPD Austria, with renting out capacity to them, with painting the half of the lockers in their colors. What are the first impressions? I really like the idea because this is joining sort of carrier-specific network and agnostic network pluses and minuses. So what are your first impressions with the collaborations?
Yeah, thanks. I really like it too. So what we always say as our vision and also as our mission is to really support the carriers to increase the out-of-home density. So we always see us, MyFlexBox, more as a supporter in terms of increasing their out-of-home density and not building some sort of competition. And so for us, it's clear that also at the locker, the customer is looking for the carrier and not for MyFlexBox. And so that's really for us the next logic step towards a real agnostic network, or let's say to a more sophisticated network. And for us also what was important to see is to give the carriers more flexibility and control over the capacity they need in long term within a locker, and also the ability to have more levers to increase the performance within each locker. So it's really our mission is also that the MyFlexBox should be really a core part of the infrastructure of a carrier. And this is essentially the closest thing we can get that they really feel, okay, this is really my network infrastructure and I can really own it.
Exactly, because the next thing is they have to put the locker besides yours. So,
Exactly.
so this is definitely one thing, using the same infrastructure, the same screen, the same power. So it's beautiful.
Also, what I think is great here is that it still keeps the agnostic philosophy in place. So the carriers still have the flexibility, because most of the times they don't rent out with increased overcapacity, but we try to hit a spot where we say, okay, this is the fixed volume they will always have. And then we still have like the agnostic, flexible pay-per-use part on where we have enough flexibility for all the overcoming volume for the peak season.
So, and you have no possibility to build a perfect sort of staircase. Clients can start with renting one locker or one parcel per use, then renting one compartment, 10 compartments, and getting bigger and bigger. Carriers don't need to risk so much with upfront investments. With your case, they can put the toe on the water and test the location, and when it's interesting for them, grow with you.
Yeah, that's exactly what we also see, and that's historically also what happened. Like DPD Austria, for example, we started working with them 7 years ago, so they were our first customer, and yeah, it took a long time to get to this point. And also we have other carriers which are renting out fixed compartments on some locations and not throughout the whole network. So everybody has the possibility to really try different approaches and to get more and more into the locker business.
This is what I like also from the first meeting with you. I remember that you told me that before you started, you had a list of 50 use cases. So it's not only the last mile delivery, or it's not only the one business model you are trying. So you have to be agile, you have to innovate, you have to try different things. And this is I like about Agnostic Networks, because they bring innovation and new business models to use. And this is exactly what you are talking. You have to create new possibilities to offer new ways to use lockers for carriers.
Yeah, thanks. No, that's thanks for that. I will give it to Peter since he's building all the platforms, and it's really, and of course his team, and it's we see it the same way. Like, since we come from a different perspective, so we don't do logistics, so we have a completely different perspective on the market and what we want to achieve, and this really gives us the insight to try out new things and really to develop new features and new possibilities. And it's always matching up, of course, with also innovations in business modeling and also with different use cases for the customers.
I see also from your public presence that you are working a lot with partnerships. The latest one, I think, was the Kaufland partnership you introduced. This is about location, but this is not only about location. This is also some kind of deeper cooperation. I assume that there are also some kind of click and collect elements inside. So what about the partnerships? How important you see those things in your Agnostic Network build-up?
Yeah. Yeah, for us, they're very important. So we are very happy that we are able to really acquire so many great location partners, and they're really sophisticated in terms and knowledge about the last mile and what smart locker really means and what is the difference between a closed and an agnostic network and truly agnostic networks. And they're really interested in that. And for them, it's really, of course, it's some sort of side business to what they're actually doing, but they really see it as a part of their future and the future capabilities. So with MyFlexBox, they secure the future capabilities to have the flexibility to really try out new things and to really try out click and collect, or really go deeper in cool lockers and so on. And that's really, for them, that's really a key part to know, okay, I have this flexibility and I can work together with them towards the future without to have any fixed investments and upfront costs. And I know I have an expert on my side, which helps me to navigate through these topics. And also what they see, of course, is that they're not reliant on just one volume stream from one carrier, which we know the markets are very dynamic, which will happen to them in the future. But they see, okay, they have so many different volume streams. The lockers are going to be full anyway. And that's, it's really great partnerships. And we are very happy to have them as really strategic nationwide partners. And especially in Germany, since the market becomes like now more and more dynamic, it's really important to us.
What about the locations? We talked about that recently with you. So this is getting harder and harder. But for you, is it the big obstacle for you to find the good locations, or is it the main obstacle in front of growing faster, or something else? How do you see that?
It's super interesting. Like as we talked before, and in here, I think each market is completely different. So when we entered Germany, we thought, okay, Austria, Germany, quite similar. I'm German, and we thought, okay, it's gonna be pretty similar to what we're doing in Austria, and that's also where we had really reasonable KPIs. So our estimation was that we will have 4,000 lockers in Germany until 2025. And then we realized, okay, the market is completely different, and it's going to take us much longer than expected to get there. And we will finish the year with 1,000 plus locations. And what we really essentially built in the last 2.5 years, which is under the hood, is whatever we built in the terms of volume platform, we now really built a location platform as well. So we saw, okay, if we really want to scale up to this point, and if we really want to have a good footprint in the German market, we need to have a different approach to this topic. And that's really what we heavily invested in, also, which is also in Peter's teams. And so we now really have a fully functional, fully automated location platform as well for the customers or for the location partners. And that's really, for us, that's really one key ingredient for further growth. And yeah, obviously, you need to have locations, but you also need to have good locations. And that's really an interesting topic, because yeah, it's pretty much the main limitation everyone has in the future, and how to conquer this obstacle.
Absolutely. So soon we are going to have here your client day. Your clients will be here. What are the main messages to them from your side today? What are the promises or the dreams you are having towards your clients?
Yeah, now we are really happy that we have this partner day. So we started this like last year ago, and we're happy that it's really growing. And for us, it's super interesting to bring all these partners together and to have like these open discussions about the last mile. So of course there are many different events about this topic, but here in a more closed setting, it's super interesting to talk with the various players in a really more open atmosphere about the issues and how we could handle these issues together in a combined collaboration.
Absolutely. I wish you very good client day, and thank you for this discussion in front of the lockers. I get always excited when I see a locker, so I will now touch and feel also. So thank you, and have a nice client day.
Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you.